Resurrection of Vraj Mandal, I have mapped it in the 4 stages. So the first one was done by Maharaj Shatrughna when he killed Lavanasur in Madhuvan, and he built the fortified and walled city surrounded by moats, in Mathura, and renamed it as Madhupuri. From Madhupuri to Mathura, it was also named as Sursen, at that same point of time. Then the second one was done by Devki Putra Krishna, and I personally believe that Sri Krishna was the biggest environmentalist that we had. He cleared the waters from pollution, Kalyanag, Aghasur, so many serpents. He planted trees, he created innumerable kunds and sarovars, and also looked at the cattle grazing, reared the cattle, and looked at nature worship. The second set of the resurrection happens, which is probably the most important one, was done by Maharaj Vajranabh. Maharaj Vajranabh was the great grandson of Sri Krishna. So from Krishna to Pradyumna, from Pradyumna to Anirudh, from Anirudh to Vajranabh. And he was the son, Anirudh was married to the daughter of Banasur, Usha, Maharani Usha, and who was his mother. So this happened around 100 years from the Kurukshetra war. So that's why I marked it as a popular date as 3000 BCE. And then comes the Bhakti movement, middle of 16th century, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vallabhacharya, these two saints, Avatar Purush, appears in Vraj Mandal and resurrects Vraj. Vraj was in complete shambles due to Islamic iconoclasm, constant raids. It was completely in jungles, shattered, everything lost. And it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his 6 Goswamis, and then followed by Vallabhacharya, who worked tirelessly to revive those places and also start many of those old lost customs, basically. Then comes the 18th century when the Marathas come into power, followed by the Jats. And Marathas, as we all know, there's hardly any teeth in Bharatvarsh which is not touched by the Marathas, and even Vraj Mandal is one of them. And it would be very pertinent also for all of you to know the name of one gentleman, Frederick Solomon Grouse, F.S. Grouse, who was the British collector from 1868 to 1876 of Mathura. And he was the first person, who actually started another set of modern resurrection, I would say, in terms of mapping the number of temples. He mapped around 5,000 temples in the entire Brajbhumi, of which around only 1,000 survive today. And he wrote all these details in his book, Memoirs of Mathura. And let me tell you another story. When we covered the Govind Dev Ji temple, I will get into the greater details of what his contribution was. So coming to Maharaj Vajranabh, and let me tell you, the deity is of Govind Dev Ji, whose face resembles that of Devki Putra Krishna. And when Maharaj Yudhishthir, before he left from Mahaprasthan, he coronated Vajranabh as the king of Mathura Mandal and Maharaj Parikshit for Hastinapur. So inspired by Maharaj Parikshit and Maharshi Shandilya, Maharaj Vajranabh created, he was 13 years old then, and he created the 16 deities which we still carry today. So some of the deities are still available and for darshan for us. So one of them is, Govind Dev Ji. So these are all 5,000-year-old deities. And you should take a note. So he created 16. What are these? So 4 devs. Haridev, who is right now in Govardhan. Baldev, who is right now in Baldev, Mathura. Keshav Dev, who is lost, of course. And Keshav Dev is none other than what Dr. Meenakshi Jain says, that Katra Keshav Dev. So it's the same Keshav Dev, and then Govind Dev, whose picture you can see. And I've given the current locations also for all these deities. So Govind Dev Ji is now in Jaipur City Palace. Then 2 Naths, Srinath Ji and Gopinath. So Srinath Ji is in Nathwara, as we rightly know, and Gopinath Ji is again in Jaipur in Purani Basti. 2 Gopals, Madan Gopal and Sakshi Gopal. Sakshi Gopal is in Puri and Madan Gopal again is in Karoli. So Madan Gopal is also known as Madan Mohan Ji. And 4 Devis, Brinda Devi, Mansa Devi, Patal Devi and Devi Yogmaya. And 4 Mahadevs, Chakleshwar, Gopeshwar, Kameshwar and Bhuteshwar. So most of these shivlings are lost and due to continuous Islamic iconoclasm, and then And if I look at the Kalyug and Ghor Kalyug, the Hun invasion was the first invasion which started with Mathura Mandal. That was in early 7th century, then followed by the 650 years of Islamic iconoclasm, where, starts with Mahmud of Ghazni, Lodhis, Aurangzeb to end with it. And then in the middle of that comes the Bhakti movement, when Vraj and the entire Mathura Mandal is revived by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vallabhacharya. And during this phase, we will see pictures in the next slide. During this phase, the most opulent temple of North India, the Govindev Ji, when North India was under the grip of extreme Islamic iconoclasm, Govindev Ji's temple comes up by Raja Man Singh under the patronage of Akbar. So Akbar gave 134 bighas of zameen. The farmans are there, as for the temple's service, and also red sandstone, which was used in any Mughal architecture those days. So red sandstones which were brought from Agra Fort and used for this making of this temple.